My wedding is too close to my birthday. Change the date, my mom insisted. I had planned my wedding almost a year ago. Her birthday was 3 weeks before mine. I said no. She didn't come, told everyone not to attend. 47 people cancelled. I posted the photos anyway. It was the best day of my life. When they saw how happy we were. Hey, Reddit. My wedding date had been set for nearly a year. The venue was booked. The dress was altered. The invites had been sent and confirmed. Every detail was chosen carefully, nothing extravagant, just intentional. I wanted a day that felt authentic, peaceful, and real. I should have known peace wouldn't last. It all started with a phone call. I remember it clearly because I was sitting on my living room floor, surrounded by seating charts and handwritten notes, humming to myself while double-checking guest arrangements. My phone buzzed. Mom. I smiled before answering. That was my first mistake. Your wedding is too close to my birthday, she said right away. No greeting, no warmth, no congratulations. Just that. I blinked. What? You heard me, she replied sharply. It's 3 weeks before my birthday. That's too close. People will still be talking about your wedding when it's supposed to be my time. I thought she was joking. She wasn't. Mom, I said carefully, already feeling that familiar tightening in my chest. We planned this date almost a year ago. Your birthday happens every year, she scoffed. So does Christmas. That doesn't mean it's not important. I sat up straighter. What do you want me to do? I asked. She didn't hesitate. Change it. The word hung heavy in the air. Change my wedding, I repeated. Yes, she said. Pick another date. A later one or an earlier one. I don't care, just not so close to mine. I stared at the wall. The cost alone would be huge: deposits, vendor contracts, travel arrangements for guests flying in, not to mention the emotional toll of changing something I had invested so much time into. No, I said quietly. Silence. Then her voice shifted, cold, controlled. Excuse me. I said. No, I repeated. We're not moving our wedding. She laughed, not humorously, but incredulously. So, you're choosing yourself over your mother? I closed my eyes. I'm choosing my fiancé and the life we're building. That's when the threat came. If you don't change it, she said calmly, I won't attend. My heart sank, not because I doubted myself, but because I knew what would follow. And neither will anyone else, she added. I felt something shift, that familiar dread. You think I'm bluffing, she snapped. Watch me. The call ended. I sat there for a long time. My fiancé found me still sitting on the floor, phone resting in my lap, staring into space. She wants us to change the wedding, I told him. He frowned. Why? Because it's too close to her birthday. He stared at me, then laughed once, stopping when he saw my expression. She's serious, isn't she? I nodded. Over the next week, the cancellations began. One by one, texts, emails, excuses. Something came up. We can't make it after all. Your mom said it would be better if we waited. Waited for what? Permission. I confronted her. Are you telling people not to come? I asked. She didn't deny it. I'm protecting the family, she said. You're being selfish. You're making this about you. I laughed bitterly. It's my wedding. I'm your mother, she snapped. Without me, there's no family. By the end of the month, 47 people, friends, relatives, people I had grown up with, had cancelled. The guest list shrank dramatically. The silence was louder than any argument. The night before the wedding, I lay awake staring at the ceiling, wondering if she was right. If choosing myself meant losing everyone else. My fiancé reached for my hand. Tomorrow, he whispered, we marry each other. That's all that matters. I squeezed his hand and believed him. The wedding day arrived. The venue looked stunning. Sunlight filtered through soft curtains. The flowers were perfect. The music felt just right. The air was filled with hope. But there were empty chairs. So many empty chairs. My mom didn't come. Neither did most of my family. But something unexpected happened. The people who did show up, they were fully present. They laughed louder, hugged longer, and filled the space with warmth. And when I walked down the aisle, I didn't think about who was missing. I thought about who was in front of me. We exchanged vows, cried, laughed, and danced. It was, without exaggeration, the happiest day of my life. That night, after everything was over, I posted photos. Not out of spite, not to prove anything, just to share our joy. By morning, my phone was buzzing with messages, comments, and calls from people who hadn't attended, those who had listened to her. They saw how happy we were, and suddenly, everything changed. What I didn't know then was that my happiness, the thing she tried so hard to control, was about to become the very thing she could never forgive. The morning after our wedding, I woke up before my alarm. For a moment, I forgot where I was. Then I remembered the vows, the laughter, the way my husband looked at me like I was his safe place. And then I remembered the empty chairs. I lay there, staring at the ceiling, listening to the slow, steady sound of breathing beside me, and felt something unfamiliar settle into my chest. Peace. Not the fragile kind that comes from everything going right, but the solid kind that comes from surviving something that almost broke you. My phone was buzzing. I didn't reach for it right away. For once, I let myself breathe first. When I finally picked it up, the screen was filled with missed calls, messages, and notifications stacked on top of each other like they were competing for attention. Most were from people who hadn't shown up, those who had listened to my mother and quietly cancelled, telling themselves they were staying out of it. I didn't realize she meant it like that. You looked so happy in the photos. I feel terrible now. She said you didn't care if we came. I read every message but didn't reply to any. My husband stirred and smiled sleepily. "You okay?" he asked. I nodded. "Yeah, just processing." He pulled me closer. "Whatever comes next, we face it together." That was the first time I truly believed it. The call from my mother came just before noon. I watched her name flash across the screen like a warning. I didn't answer. She called again and again. Then came the voicemail. Her voice was tight, controlled in that way I knew too well. "How could you do this to me?" she demanded. "Do you have any idea how this made me look? Everyone saw those photos. Everyone saw how happy you were. Do you know what that says about me?" I listened once, then deleted it. 2 days later, she showed up uninvited, standing outside our apartment building like she still had authority over my life. I almost didn't go down, but something inside me knew that avoiding her would only keep her power alive in my mind. So I took a deep breath and went. She didn't smile when she saw me, didn't hug me, didn't say congratulations. She crossed her arms immediately. "You enjoyed it," she accused, "didn't you?" I blinked. "Enjoyed what?" "Making me look like the villain," she snapped. I tilted my head slightly. "I didn't mention you once. You didn't have to. People aren't stupid." She stepped closer. "Do you know how humiliating it is? To have people asking why your own daughter didn't move her wedding for you." There it was. Not sadness, not lost control. "My wedding isn't about you," I said quietly. Her eyes flashed. "Everything in this family is about me." For the first time I didn't flinch. "You told people not to come," I said calmly. She hesitated for a moment, then lifted her chin. "Yes, I did." I felt something snap into place inside me. Not pain, confirmation. "You didn't just try to control me. You tried to punish me. You were being selfish," she scoffed. "I was teaching you consequences." "No," I replied. "You were trying to break me." Her voice dropped. "You think you've won?" she asked quietly. "You think happiness lasts when you turn your back on family?" I looked past her at the street, at the sky, at the life waiting for me upstairs. "I'm not turning my back," I said. "I'm moving forward." She stared at me like I was someone she no longer recognized. "You've changed," she said. "Yes," I replied. "Because I finally stopped shrinking." That's when she tried one last tactic, guilt. "You owe me," she whispered. "After everything I sacrificed." I felt my chest tighten, not with obligation, but with grief. "I've paid that debt for years," I said softly. "With silence, compliance, and pieces of myself I'll never get back." She opened her mouth to argue, but I didn't let her. "This conversation is over," I said. She left angrily, slamming the door. For the first time in my life, I didn't chase her. The fallout didn't come all at once. It came slowly in waves. Some relatives stopped talking to me entirely. Others reached out secretly, whispering apologies, admitting they had been pressured, confessing they were afraid to stand up to her. One message stuck with me: "I wish I had your courage when I was your age." I cried when I read that, not from sadness, but from release. Months passed. Life settled into something calmer, healthier. We built routines that didn't revolve around pleasing anyone. Sunday mornings, quiet dinners, laughter that felt genuine. I didn't miss the chaos. I didn't miss the anxiety. I didn't miss the constant fear of doing something wrong. On my birthday, the first one after my wedding, my phone buzzed again. Her name. Just one message: "I hope you're happy." I looked around at my husband cooking in the kitchen, sunlight spilling across the floor, a life that felt real. I typed back 2 words: "I am." She never replied. And for the first time, I understood something clearly. Happiness isn't loud revenge. It's quiet freedom. Some call it betrayal when you stop letting them control you. But choosing peace over approval isn't selfish. It's necessary. You are not obligated to shrink so someone else can feel important. The day you stop asking for permission is the day your life finally begins. That's all for today's story. If this resonated with you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you next time.